Welcome to the Foxhole. I'm Nondor Fox Schaefer, and before I wanted to be a comic book writer, I wanted to be a comic book artist. You're a kid, you love comics. Why do you love comics? The artwork. Comics is a visual medium, and as a kid, I used to fawn over the artists. I used to get comics because of the art. I mean, that's why you're attracted to comics. And I would have lists of my favorite artists. My brother and I would make lists of our favorite artists, like our top 10, and we would go on to do that with writers and with series. And being a comic book fan as a kid, it was all about the art. It was all about how cool this artist drew this character and why you like that style. And you would have debates and conversations with people about why this artist is your favorite, or oh, this artist is on that series, I want that, I'm buying that, instant buy. It doesn't matter even if the story is good or even serviceable. It's just the art. I wanted to be a comic book artist. I would doodle and sketch and draw every day. I would just draw comic book covers. I would draw Bucky as Captain America in that sweet Alex Ross design costume, like religiously every day. I would sketch a new Captain America, and it had to be Bucky in that suit, because come on guys, that suit is like the best Captain America design. Anyways, I would draw a lot as a kid. I would draw scenes from the comics and, like I said, covers and just my favorite characters, and I would look at artists that I loved and I would copy them. I wouldn't trace. It's different, but I would have the comic beside me, and then I would have my notebook or sketchbook, and I would just copy what I was seeing. And that's how I did a lot of my art and a lot of my drawings. That was such an important part of my life as a kid and as a comic book fan. And I just loved to draw. I would draw all the time. And it was so exciting to finish a piece and to show it off to my friends and family and be like, look what I've done. Like, even though it wasn't my art, it was still something that meant a lot to me and that I could show off and be like, look what I did. That really all came to a head when I was 17 years old. Around then, I really loved Avengers versus X-Men. This is issue 11 right next to me here. I loved that big event. If you weren't there for Avengers versus X-Men when it came out, it was like every kid's dream, like the Avengers versus the X-Men. This is an event that was so hyped up, and you had the best writers and artists at Marvel at the time doing this book. It was called like the Architects. You had Jonathan Hickman, Brian Michael Bendis, Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker, all contributing to this story. And then you had artists like Adam Kubert, Olivier Coipel, Jim Cheung, just, big names, top names for the time. After all these sketches I had done, somehow in my brain I got the bright idea of, what if I drew an entire comic book? Like, instead of drawing covers or just panels or pages from a comic, what if I drew an entire comic book? And I don't know how exactly I thought that would be such a great idea. At the time, I was thinking, if I drew an entire comic book, I could get a better grasp at comic book storytelling, and I could get a better grasp at just being a better artist and wanting to do that. Because I did entertain the idea of being a comic book artist. I don't necessarily know how intensely serious I was, but it was a dream of mine. It was one of those dreams as a kid where you're like, okay, what would I do if I were to be an adult? What job would I want? And being a comic book artist, being an artist, was one of those things. And I chose Avengers vs. X-Men number 11. This was written by Brian Michael Bendis, and the art was by Olivier Coipel. This was a really big issue. If you haven't read it, this is like the most spoiler-filled issue. So if you don't want to know, read this and then come back to this video, because we're going to go through it, because I draw it. So right over here, I don't know if you can actually read that. It says Avengers vs. X-Men number 11, pencils by Nondor Fox Schaefer. And this took me a really long time. Like probably all year I worked on this, drawing this in my free time. I would spend like 3 or 4 hours a day doing this. So I thought, as a video idea, something for my YouTube channel, what if I showed this off? And what if we went through page by page and I could just show off my art and kind of show this to you guys? Yeah, let's dive into this and let's look at my pencils for Avengers vs. X-Men number 11. All right, so here we go here, guys. Avengers vs. X-Men number 11, pencils by myself. Finished this December 23rd, 2014. And yeah, this probably took me about a year or so to complete. I did, like 3 to 4 hours a day whenever I could. You know, it was very sporadic. I didn't do it every day. I didn't draw every day, but I drew mostly every day and spent around that time completing pages and drawing this. So this is the entirety of Avengers vs. X-Men number 11 after Olivier Coipel. This is not my original work. This is all after that issue, and I'm going to be having some side-by-sides during the video to show what it looks like with color, beside what I just did was sketching. And this was all in pencil. So here's the cover right here. And yeah, this is Emma Frost versus Cyclops. Hope you guys can see that. And this is when they're possessed by the Phoenix Force, and they're like Phoenix Force form and costumes, and you see all these other characters around surrounding them, and this battle. Cyclops is using his visor, his optic blast, to shoot at Emma, and you see this Phoenix bird here. So yeah, I did all of this with just a mechanical pencil. I shaded, whatever I couldn't do with color, because I didn't even know where to begin to color it. I just kind of shaded things to dark and light depending on the color. This is Cap here. He's on a cliffside and he's talking to someone, and it's kind of a very more detailed page with the backgrounds and the cliffside and stuff. And we see some characters and the ship here, if you can make that out. Some of this, could come out kind of blurry and whatnot because of just the glare or whatever. I have all of these in like plastic like covers, so that's why there's a glare there. I wanted to kind of keep these safe from getting bent up and stuff. So this is Hulk. This was one of my favorite pages to do because Hulk wasn't really like a part of the Avengers or the comics for like, so long, and he's really been out of the picture. And so this felt like the return to like classic Avengers stuff here. So Cap's like, we need your help. Like, we can't do this without you. And, this is all after Olivier Coipel. Like, his art is beautiful, really great stuff. Became a big fan of him when he was working on Thor with J. Michael Straczynski. On this right page here, we have Rogue standing in the midst of a field. And yeah, this was actually like a 2-page connecting page. If I took these 2 pages out, you'd see how they connect. Same with this next set of pages here. This one, there was so many different characters I had to draw. So this one took a lot, and you can tell I didn't really keep up with the detail. And I'm talking like I'm an artist here, like I did all this. I was just copying this, and like I'm not trying to say I did any of this. I'm just saying like it was hard just copying this. I can't even imagine drawing it. So yeah, and like, why did I do this? I don't know. I wanted to live like a comic book artist and be like, yeah, this is how it's done. I was just a fan. Like, I wanted to do this, and I wanted to be an artist and see what I could do. I just loved drawing, and I was like, how do you do this? Where do you even begin? And so I drew this comic, and was just like, I'm gonna do this one. And this was one of my favorite pages here. If you can kind of see the ocean, the sand. This is Professor X standing on the beach, and yeah, there's a lot of shading and detail that went into this one. And it's interesting to see without letters. You know, I kind of had to make up some stuff in between. Like if I couldn't see what was there, I just kind of made it up because the letters and the letter boxes were blocking them. Ooh, this page right here. This was sick. I had so much fun doing this. You have Doctor Strange. He's holding Scott Summers, Cyclops, like at bay, because they're here to like take him down. The Avengers are, you know. Cyclops really became the villain. This was a 2-page spread too, so I would love to take these out and like show you guys, but like I just don't want to mess up the pages. They smear and smudge and all that stuff. And oh, something I did too is I took regular paper, like printed paper or sketchbook paper. I don't even remember what. I think it's just like regular paper, and I cut them to comic size. So I use scissors. I use scissors and just cut like the comic size. Like I would take a comic, put it on top of, you know, the paper, and I would just cut around it. So a lot of this is like jagged and not really measured out to the best accuracy and all that. So yeah, I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. Like I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, there's too much paper here. I gotta take it down. So yeah, they're about to fight Cyclops, the Scarlet Witch, up here. Hope you guys can, you know, at least get some of this detail. There's a lot of detail. This was a really cool panel, that panel 3 there, where you see like Cyclops like getting all, yeah, see that? I'm proud of that one. Hulk is like about to get Emma Frost here. That's a good, like, you guys gotta, you know, read this story, pick up this issue. This is like an all-out war here. Like this issue was insane, and that's partly why I wanted to draw it. I was like, I can draw all my favorite characters. Like, see, I would do this thing where I would pick a character and like alternate. So like I'd go from like Captain America to Iron Man to Thor to Hulk to Spider-Man or whoever, and then I would just do that again. I'd go Cap, Iron Man, Hulk, you know. So I would kind of draw all the same characters because I don't know, I was trying to celebrate them with my art and also just see what I could do and get better at drawing them. So I would think, okay, I'll just repeat this over and over. And then so with this, I was like, well, I can just draw every character that I've ever wanted to draw because it's the Avengers and the X-Men. So I don't have to go through all that work. This was really, honestly, I haven't drawn much after I finished this, because after this was done, I was like, I did it. I hit my peak. I could totally, of course, pick it up more, and I'd like to draw more. This was really cool. This was Iceman here. So yeah, just a lot of battling. Like, all this was like them fighting. You can see these pages aren't really straight, kind of all crooked. I haven't looked at this in a really long time. Probably a couple of years. Another 2-pager. So yeah, this is where spoilers. So like, don't listen to this if you don't want to know what happens here. But like, Cyclops basically almost kills Emma Frost, and then he also kills Professor X. So yeah, this is where Professor X died, and that had like really never happened before. Really emotional, really good scene. Hulk throws Wolverine at Cyclops, which is really cool if you can see that here. So yeah, he just is like really embodying. He's taking all of, like, the Phoenix Force into himself there. And this is a 2-page spread, and it ends with Cyclops like becoming Dark Phoenix. So yeah, yeah, I did this, and it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. Sorry, this is kind of a janky setup with looking at this. You know, this is where I look at comics, and this is like a really oversized thing here, but that's besides the point. Hope you guys enjoyed looking at this. Tell me what you think. I'm really not shy about showing this because I'm proud of it, and I did take a lot of time on it. And I actually am thinking about getting into drawing more, and kind of picking it up where I left off and seeing if I can devote the time to draw more and do that kind of thing. Because it was such a peaceful thing for me. It was like such a serene thing I would do where I would draw and listen to music, and it really calmed me down and just like was a lot of fun for me. So yeah, thank you guys for checking this out. Do you like Avengers versus X-Men? I'm always game to talk about comics and stories and all that stuff. Did you like this series? Did you like this issue? Hope you guys enjoyed looking at my artwork. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It was really fun looking through my copying of Avengers versus X-Men number 11 after Olivier Coipel. This was a lot of fun to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe to Foxhole Comics here on YouTube. Please like this video. Please comment. Please hit the notification bell to get notified when a new video pops up. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later.